Okay, here with the Power Wagon, and it didn't do so good on the course up there. I didn't expect it to be anything but top heavy, but I thought it would have more power than it did. So we're going to change out this motor. Even though it does have a 502 in it, we're going to switch it out. And this is what it looks like right now. Right now it has the stock Titan motor in it. In low range, explore it. Okay, high range. Has plenty of speed, more than you need, so I think I'm going to drop her down, leave the gears in it. I did change the gears already to a lower range, but let's take it apart. Okay, as far as tearing it apart, all there is drop off the bumper straps on the back, and it comes right up. Those are you know, winch wires and light wires. I'll scooch it up a little bit there, and this is just a brace for the weight when it's picking up something heavy, and that's it. Then it's ready to be made into something else. Now for you guys that want to build your own tow trucks, this is just how I did it. I'm just going to show you, maybe spark some ideas for you. Like I said, this brace is for when you're lifting stuff, the weight crushes down pretty heavy on there, and usually, as you can see, I'll jack my shocks way up. If not, I do have solid bars that I put shock ends on, so I can put those in there instead of the springs. This is just, I believe these are Wraith shocks. They might be SCX 10s. And on the bottom, this is aluminum angle iron that I just got some hooks for. On the top, it's just aluminum plate that I cut up. Bought some separate hooks to put on there. And that's all there is to the back for lifting. And I use chains that go from the red hooks. I loop it around the axles and hook them in these upper hooks, and then this will go up against the front of the vehicle. Okay, now as far as the back, these are just pieces off of a Tamiya truck, the bullhead, off the roll cage. This again is aluminum angle. You can see I got it down there across the bottom all the way. It's screwed down through the body. These are Wraith links. This is a empty tube. This is a solid piece of aluminum. You could use tubing, but one thing I do have a problem with is this pulley here isn't close enough to the top. So this little pulley, I bought like a little pack of plastic pulleys, works just fine, but it keeps coming off the spool. So if this was up here closer, that wouldn't happen so much. Down here at the base is just two pieces of angle on both sides that mounted right into the plastic, and you know, bolt goes all the way through. Okay, down here on the bottom, there's the bolts for holding on the tow bar. That would be the winch here, and the probably that goes all the way through the angle iron that's right up above there too. And the you can see these bolt nuts right down in there. That's for the chrome lines. You can take all this stuff off and run it as a regular pickup truck. It's not worth the bother for me. Sometimes I do, but not usually. And then if you can see these little screws, what I did, just to block from being able to see from the outside all the way through, I put this plastic diamond plate there, and that's what these little screws are for. They hold that in there and cover, make it look all dark in there. Real easy way to cover your gap. Now that my little switch panel there is just a piece of the molded plastic that came with it. I just cut that corner shape out of it and shoe glued it in there. It's been there ever since with no problems. These are just Tamiya semi-truck mirrors. Say hello to YYC Design. Cool dude, check him out. Here's the mess of the inside, and I haven't had this apart in quite some time, and that looks pretty clean in there. It's sealed pretty nice. So we're gonna clean her up a little bit and change out those motors. I'm gonna change my pigtails onto the other motor. I like to save them, keep them on there, but it may be years before I use it again, so what the heck, I might as well just trade them out. Oh, and hope you don't mind the Delta Blues today. Alright, we're back. The motor's in. Before I put the cover over the gears, there they are, all nice, fit up. Everything's all cleaned up, ready to go back together. While I got this opened, another thing I did was this battery tray. You see it's a little loose in the front, but not very loose. That's a good solid battery tray. And all it is I took the stock battery tray out, and then right back here, right there and there, I put screws into that plastic brace back there, and that holds that axial battery tray right down in there, real nice and low. And then I cut the end open right here on the end, so I can pass the wires through easy enough. So let's get this baby back together. There we go, I found my camera. Alright, well, I got everything changed. I got my little light blocker wheel wells on there, and the battery's down to about 380, so I'm going to recharge that before I put the body on it. But the motor's changed. Let's see what our gears are looking like. This will be full speed. I'll compare that with the other one, see what we got. Okay, high range. Has plenty of speed. This is low range. I have to let off on it easy because the drag brake will flip it right off of there. Floor it. Okay. Alright. That'd be enough for that mess. I'll tell you what, guys. This really works out. I've probably changed papers maybe 3 times. Of course, I let them get ratty before I change them, but this thing is a lifesaver, really. I don't give a hoot about who thought it up or anything. If you guys have the room to do it, it's a pretty handy way to keep your table clean. Now, what does a tow truck and a Baja Bug have in common? Pretty much everything.